All right, let's talk about a truly fascinating plan coming right out of the heart of India. We're talking about a city that's already famous for its history, its culture, and of course, its incredible food. But now the government has a new vision for its future, and it's, well, surprisingly ambitious.
Just think about it for a second. Hyderabad has these beautiful lakes, centuries-old monuments, a booming tech scene. It's got so much charm. But there's always been one major piece of that classic vacation puzzle that it just couldn't offer.
That's right, a beach. You know, the sea, the sand, the waves. That's the one thing that's always been missing. But believe it or not, a really bold new plan is set to change all of that, bringing the coastline to a city that's hundreds of kilometers away from the actual coast.
So let's really get into this. A beach in Hyderabad? I know, it sounds a little bit like something out of a science fiction movie, doesn't it? But this is real. The Telangana government has officially unveiled plans for a massive artificial beach right on the edge of the city.
And when I say massive, I mean it. This isn't just some little patch of sand they're throwing down. We're talking about a sprawling, 35-acre development. It's going to be located near Kotwal Guda, and the spot was picked for a very practical reason. It's super easy to get to using the Outer Ring Road, so a convenient trip for pretty much everyone in the city.
And here's the kicker. This isn't some far-off futuristic dream. The timeline is actually pretty aggressive. The main plan, the detailed project report, is already done. They're saying groundwork will start very soon, and get this, actual construction is supposed to kick off by December of 2025. So yeah, things are moving fast.
So you've got to be asking, why, right? Why go to all this trouble? Why would a city that's already so rich in culture and history pour so much money and effort into building a beach? Well, it turns out this whole project is meant to fill a very specific gap in the higher body lifestyle.
Look, nobody's debating that Hyderabad is an amazing place. The culture, the food, it's a powerhouse. But what it's always lacked is that quick, easy weekend trip to the sea, something folks in coastal cities kind of take for granted. This project is a direct answer to that craving.
And the demand is absolutely there. Right now, to get their beach fix, thousands of people from Hyderabad make the long drive to Suryalanka Beach in Andhra Pradesh. That's a serious trip just for a weekend getaway. So the government is looking at this and thinking, hey, why don't we just keep all that right here at home? Makes sense, right?
Okay, now we get to the really exciting part, because this is so much more than just trucking in some sand and water. The plan here is to build a complete, honest-to-goodness entertainment and adventure destination.
And they are putting some serious money where their mouth is. The initial investment is estimated to be a staggering 225 crore rupees. I mean, wow. A number like that tells you right away this isn't just some little side project. It's a massive, incredibly ambitious undertaking. So, how are they paying for it? They're using what's called a public-private partnership model. But what's even more interesting is that, according to officials, international companies are already showing interest in investing even more money on top of that. That tells you there's a lot of confidence that this thing is going to be a huge success.
I mean, just look at what's planned. We're talking star hotels and even floating villas, bungee jumping, sailing. For families, there will be parks, playgrounds, bike tracks, and of course, you've got to have food courts, theaters, and a wave pool to really round out the experience. The goal is pretty clear. Create a place where you can spend the whole weekend and never run out of things to do.
Now, it's really important to understand that this beach, as grand as it sounds, isn't just some random idea. It's actually the star player in a much bigger strategy by the state of Telangana to completely transform its tourism industry.
And you don't have to take my word for it. The chairman of the Telangana State Tourism Development Corporation, Patel Ramesh Reddy, basically said it all. They see this artificial beach as the flagship project that's going to push Hyderabad into the big leagues of global tourist destinations.
And there's a huge economic reason behind this. The government figures that Telangana is sitting on over 15,000 crore rupees worth of untapped tourism potential. We're talking everything from historic sites to ecotourism. This beach is designed to be one of the main keys to finally unlock all that value.
So, at the end of the day, it all comes down to one single massive goal: to put Hyderabad on the map as a truly world-class place to visit for travelers from literally anywhere on the globe. So let's bring it all home. What could all of this actually mean for the city? Well, if this project works, it could completely redefine what it's like to both live in and to visit Hyderabad. The impact really breaks down into two big things. First, for the people who actually live there, this is a total game changer. Imagine, no more of those crazy long drives just to get to a beach for the weekend.
And then for tourists, it adds a whole new layer to the city's appeal, a super modern attraction to go along with all the historic ones. So I think that's the main thing to remember here. They're not just selling a beach, they're selling an entire experience. It's this vision of a one-stop shop for fun, for adventure, for relaxation, all there inside the city limits.
And all of this leaves us with the one big question hanging over the whole project. It's a bold, ambitious, and, yeah, expensive bet on Hyderabad's future. Can you really capture the magic of the coast and build it from scratch? Well, only time will tell, but it's definitely going to be fascinating to watch.